Namaste. Om Ajnanam Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadanti Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dhinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yasyatma bhutasya Guru Prasadat Aham Vimuktosmi Sharira Bandhat Saropadeshtu Purushotamasya Tasyangre Padma Pranatosmi Nityam. Hare Krishna. We've been relishing the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is dedicated for one great soul. Bhagavatam is about two personalities. One is about Bhagavan, another one is about the Bhagavatas. Bhagavatam is a collection of many stories about Krishna and also about the various devotees who exhibited the qualities. So just a minute, let me turn off something here. Be back. Okay. In the Mahabharata, where Yudhishthira Maharaj, after seeing what happened, that Shishupala is being finished by Krishna, and Yudhishthira Maharaj asked this question to Narada Muni, that how is it possible for such a person to get liberated and attain moksha, even being such a bad guy? How is that Shishupal was able to attain moksha? And on those lines is how this whole thing is get connected. So Mahabharata gives us details, and then that has been explained over here in Srimad Bhagavatam also, the same incident, the conversation between Narada Muni and Yudhishthira Maharaj. In that we saw, Narada Muni explained how the Jaya and Vijaya, the doorkeepers, gatekeepers of Vaikunta, is being cursed by the 4 boys, mind-born boys of Brahma. Interestingly, we also saw how a person who is in Vaikunta, who should be free of anger, greed, lust, all the different things, how can a person in Vaikunta make a mistake? Doorkeepers, not allowing the sages. And how can a sages like these 4 young nice boys who self-realize, how can they get angry? Because we constantly keep hearing that one should not get angry. How did they get angry? So after they cursed, we saw that the Lord appeared in front of them and he said, it's none of your mistakes. I take the ownership. I take the responsibility. It is because of my icha, my sankalpa, that this whole thing has happened. So you too, please accept the curse and be born. And therefore, they are the one who born in Satya Yuga as Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. And then in Traita Yuga, they appeared as Kumbhakarna, Ravana and Kumbhakarna. And then in Dwapara Yuga, the same Jaya and Vijaya appeared as Shishupal and Dandavakra. And to kill those three brothers, then the Lord appeared 4 times. Varahadev to kill Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, to kill Hiranyakashipu, Narsinghadev appeared, Rama appeared to kill Ravana and Kumbhakarna, and Krishna appeared to kill Shishupal and Dandavakra. And after the Lord killed Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu on the place where his wives were lamenting and his mother was lamenting, he came there and gave an advice to them and told them some stories, not to worry about what has happened. He also said the body is perishable and Atma is immortal. After saying this one, externally he said all this thing. Then what we are going to see today, starting today, is the 3rd chapter of the 7th canto, where Hiranyakashipu is making out plans to become immortal. What he spoke, one thing, and what he's going to do is something else. Achar and prachar. There are 2 things that are very, very important. Achar means not the pickle that we eat, mango pickle or other pickle. It's a behavior. The preaching or speaking should match with what one do. And what one do should make in sync, it should be in sync with the thought that one has. Therefore, the thought, the speech, and the action, these 3 things, thought, speech, and action should be in sync. What we think should be spoken, what we speak should be acted accordingly. And if these 3 things are not in sync, that means we are doing something wrong. I'm thinking something and speaking something and doing something else. And that is not called achar. So prachar, as we speak, we have to do everything. But interestingly enough, Hiranyakashipu had in sync with these things in the way that he wanted to do, like Ravana also. Ravana in his mind, he thought is not going to give back Sita. And in word, he expressed that one, he is not going to give Sita. And then also in action, he fought against Rama, not wanting to give Sita. Hiranyakashipu the same. Therefore, the synchronization of thought, speech, and action should be in dharmic way, in dharma, not in adharma. Right? Even a terrorist might be thinking the same thing in his thought, in his word, and in action. But that's not going to produce any good result out of it. Therefore, the thought should be good. The thought that comes out should be good. Because of that, the word should be good, and the action should also be good action. Likewise, now Hiranyakashipu, after giving all these good advices, now he gets into a program where he wants to work on immortality. He doesn't want to die. Hiranyakashipu Rajan Ajayam Ajaramaram Atmanam Aparitvadanam Yekarajam Vedistata, where he says that Narada Muni is telling to Hiranyakashipu, Narada Muni is telling to Yudhishthira Maharaj that Hiranyakashipu went on a program, wanted to become immortal. He want to win old age, Jara, Ajara. He want to become Ajara. Jara means old age. Ajara means not old age. He wants to be always young. And then he doesn't want to have any enemies. Mara means to die. Amara means to be immortal. So he wants to be immortal. He doesn't want to die. That means he wants to be young and he doesn't want any enemies. He wants everything under him, under his control. So that was his motive, and that is what he wants to do. So for that reason, what he did is he went to a Mandara hill, a place in a valley nearby Mandara hill, and he started performing austerity. The way that he did austerity is Gaura Tapas. Gaura Tapas means where he was standing on the tip on his toes And then on the nail tip, he was just on the nail tip, he was just standing on one toe. And then his hands raised up. And he was meditating on Lord Brahma. Brahma. It was really, we can't even sit on a chair for a few minutes, right? Or we can't even sit on the ground. Just imagine Hiranyakashipu had such a conviction or faith that he will get it. Sometimes we also do fasting, we also do some pujas and everything. After 1 month, we start thinking, is it working or not working, right? We only, that too in the fasting also, we'll have varieties of fasting. For Ekadeshi nowadays, we have pizza, right? Ekadeshi pizza, Ekadeshi noodles, Ekadeshi pasta, right? Ekadeshi biryani is also now coming up. It's there. So many varieties. In the name of Ekadeshi, we have so many varieties. Hiranyakashipu was living on not food, in air, in just a prana. So he was just doing for thousands of years, standing like that. Extremely difficult. This is considered to be the extremely difficult pose to do tapasya, because of the way that he was doing, completely focused, and the fire was emanating from his hair, from his head. The fire was coming out and reaching to the sky. It was reaching to the sky, upper planetary system. People who are living in the upper planetary system, they could not stay any further because the heat is so much, extreme heat, severe heat, that they could not stay there. They were just jumping out. You put if you haven't seen a popcorn machine, you must have seen popcorn machine. You put a cup of corn into that machine, small machine, you feel like nothing is happening. Within few minutes, all these things pops out. Popcorn, the name popcorn. Corn just popped out, right? Likewise, these people who are living in different planetary system, on the higher planetary system, they're all just like a popcorn, just popping out, just jumping out of their place. They couldn't stay any further because of the heat. They could not survive the scorching heat. It was too much for them to take this one. They don't know what to do with this one. They just ran without helplessly. They went running to Brahma and they said, my dear Brahma, you know what's happening? Are you not feeling the heat? It's because of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu do an extreme tapasya, standing on the toe, on the tip of his nail. And he's doing tapasya. And everything is standstill. Everything is standstill. Nothing is movable now. Everything is under heavy heat. You got to do something. But the intention of Hiranyakashipu, we are thinking, is not something very good. Looks like he want to get your post. He want to replace you. He want to live forever. So you got to do something. You got to take some action. Thank you, Ravi. So you can see the picture right here. Rather than looking at my face, you can look at this beautiful picture.
Look at the picture.
So how Hiranyakashipu has been doing tapasya like this. All his ribs are being seen, right? His hairs are been growing, and on the top you can see that the fires are just emanating, blazing fire. Severe austerity. No one have ever done such an austerity in the past. It was very severe. Now the demigod was saying, you got to do something, save your post and also save all of us. Otherwise it's going to be very, very difficult. And then Brahma, after hearing this one, he immediately said, oh, let's go to the spot and address this one. So Brahma on a swan, that's what he had, his vahana, with a swan. You can see that he's just coming. He came right there on the spot over there. And then by the time Hiranyakashipu was doing the tapasya for so many years, this whole body was covered by ant hill. Everything was built by ant hill. And inside, all was remaining was, everything was eaten by the ants. All the things with his flesh and everything was eaten by the ants. Now, all he had inside was just the bone. It's a skeleton. It was just a skeleton which was inside. And he was still surviving with the skeleton, because you can, sometimes this is even demon like Hiranyakashipu knows that he is not the body to some extent. Of course, his intention of doing all this thing is different. But then he can see that he was just ready to give up this body so that he can get a better body. Right? So body, the flesh, none of these things was stick onto his body. It was just a skeleton. That's all he had. So Brahma came there, and brought, as soon as Brahma came there, then he took some water from his kamandalu, and then he just sprinkled on the anthill, and sprinkled some water on the top of the skeleton. And immediately the anthill got vanished. It just went away. And then also Hiranyakashipu got a very, very beautiful, young, youthful body, very handsome body. Brahma was very pleased by this one, very, very pleased by Hiranyakashipu's austerities and tapasya, because Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are called to be Ashutosh. They have another name called Ashutosh. Ashutosh means one who are very quickly pleased by puja. Simple puja you do, simple offering you do, simple thing you do, they'll be immediately happy, very happy immediately. And then give what you want to attain from them. They will give it immediately. Whereas when it comes to Krishna, it is not that easy to get. It is not that easy to get from him. Why? Because usually the devatas, they all give what we want, but then whereas Krishna gives what we really need in our life. Krishna looks not only the body, he looks upon the Atma. What is beneficial for this Atma? Accordingly, he gives things. Whereas the devatas do not go into the details of Atma, rather they have to pay, they have to fulfill the desire that one is asking for. That is the difference between where Krishna and where the other devatas are. And then immediately as soon as Hiranyakashipu saw Brahma, then he started praising Brahma. He just started praising Brahma. He said that you are the God of all gods. No one is greater than you. You are the creator. You are the maintainer. You are the annihilator. You are Paramatma. You are the Supreme Lord. You relieves everyone from their karma. You gives the moksha. You are the proprietor. You're cause of all causes. You're the master. You're a controller. He just goes on and on and on and on and on and on, praising Brahma, right? Praising Brahma. So Brahma, of course, he knows, there's something in someone. If you start praising someone, suddenly, all of the sudden, then we know what's coming up next. There's going to be something that has to be fulfilled. There's going to be a demand that's going to be coming. Therefore, this person is praising me. You're so and so. You're great. You're Karna. You're Dhanasura, and etc. etc. Why? Because I want something from you now. Likewise, Brahma, he's seen all this different prayers before. So he said, what is he going to ask now? What is he going to ask? So Brahma was ready because he has to fulfill the desire of Hiranyakashipu, because Hiranyakashipu satisfied the requirement by doing this tapasya. Therefore, he has to satisfy whatever he's going to ask. He has to fulfill that one. Even in Mukunda Mala Stotra, where King Kulashekara, he also praises, when Hiranyakashipu can praise, think about the bhaktas, the devotees, how much they can praise. Sri Vallabheti, Varadeti, Dhayapareti, Bhakta Priyeti, Bhavaluntana Goviteti, Nadeti, Nada Sayaneti, Jagannivaseti, Alapinam Pratimam, Kuruma Mukundaha, Jayatu Jayatu Devo, Devaki Nandaneyum, Jayatu Krishna, Vrishni Vamsi Pratipaha, Jayatu Mega Kshamala Komalango, Jayatu Prithvi Bharanaso Mukundaha. It just goes on. Kulashekara also says, you are glorious to you. You are your Sriyapati. Maybe if someone is telling you Sriyapati, that means he's going to ask for some donation or some wealth or kingdom. Like that, Krishna was also thinking, Kulashekara, what are you doing? Why are you praising me so much? Why are you glorifying me so much? What is it you're looking for? Are you praying just because that you want to be free from hell? You want to go to heaven? What is the program? What is it you want from me? Na hamande chavataraniyo dvantum advantum detuhu kumbi pa kum kurumapi hare narakam na pirantum ramya rama mridutanu lata nandane na pirantum bhave hridaya bhavane bhaveyentam bhavantam. Kulashekara says that, my dear Lord, I'm not praying because I'm afraid of going to hell. I'm not praying because I want to go to heaven. That is not the intention. What is your intention? Bhave hridaya bhavane bhaveyam bhavantam. Bhavan. Bhavan means a place, right? Bhavan means the place, residence. In my Hridaya Bhavan, you have to be remembered. I should remember always you. That is how the devotees praises also to the Lord. Obviously, Hiranyakashipu is not going to pray, my dear Lord Brahma, Bhave, Bhave, Hridaya Bhavane, Bhave, Ayam Bhavantam, you reside in my heart. You be in my heart, I can remember you always. That's not his intention. That's not how he prayed. Sometimes people think he's great devotees. Ravana is a great devotee of Lord Shiva. All those different things comes, but they have an intention. There is a material motive behind their bhakti. Right? There's the reason why they're performing bhakti. Whereas the great devotees like Prahlad that we are going to see, there's no any motive. There's no any reason behind why I'm doing bhakti. Bhaktya tu ananya sakyaha hameva vidu arjuna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that bhaktya tu ananya sakyaha. Look, there's only one process by which I'll be pleased. Nothing else. Nothing else is going to please me. Not your jnana, not your knowledge, not your tapas, your austerity, not your birth, if you're born in a Brahmin family or this family, that family, not because you're handsome looking, beautiful looking, etc., etc. I don't look any of these things. Then what is it you look for? Bhaktya tu ananya sakyaha. Bhakti. Ananya sakya. That's nothing else I'm looking for except bhakti. Bhakti is the only which I'm looking for in you. You might come, you might do cooking for me, but is there a bhakti in your cooking? You might do archana. Is there bhakti involved in that? In the archana? If you're going to give some donation, when you're giving donation, is the bhakti involved in that one? Right? Everything has to be quoted. The main ingredients in whatever we are trying to do in our life to God, what Krishna is looking for is remove everything else, is looking for that one ingredient called bhakti. If that bhakti is not there, then what is the use of we doing anything else that whatever we are trying to do? There's no point in doing anything. Therefore, Krishna says, perform bhakti. So Hiranyakashipu here also performed bhakti. If our bhakti is also like Hiranyakashipu's bhakti, I'm praying to God because why? Here's the list. Here's the list. We go to Tirupati. Tirupati, now you cannot go to Tirupati also, unfortunately. But when you go to Tirupati or any places like that, you have a big queue. People have to stay for hours to get to darshan of Balaji, Srinivasa, right? They wait so long. As they are waiting, they are busy writing their list of items that they are going to ask Srinivas, Balaji. When they meet, see Balaji right in front of them. They have the big list. They keep on writing, add this one, that one, this, all the requirement, all those things has to be removed. The problem has to be, everything has been listed. As soon as you go, the Jargandi, that's all. You forget with that whole thing. When they say this Jaragandi, just keep moving, please keep moving. That means we will forget all our list over there. It's good they are saying this one. Otherwise, what will happen is that we'll be staying there and reading out all our list and others will not be able to read their list. Therefore, it's very good. They have this system of pushing us off. All we have to do at that point of time is a glance of the Lord. Glance, we get the glance, that one glance is sufficient. Whether even when we go to the temple, we have a glance, we might not even know whether the Lord was wearing a garland or not garland, whether he was having a pitambaram, the yellow garments, or he was wearing something else. Where there was is hasta, is abhaya hasta or varada hasta, or what type of hasta is that? The pose of the hand. We don't even pay attention to any of these things, right? But what happens is, at that point of time, is whether we took darshan of the Lord or not, the Lord took darshan of us. That makes a big difference, right? He also is very interested to take darshan of his devotees, not only us. He sees that all the way this person has come to me, all the way this person come to me, I'm very blessed to have his darshan. Can you just imagine the Lord is thinking this way, that I am being blessed to have the darshan of my devotee. He doesn't see what is the motive of this person coming here. Rather, he came to me. How many people are still not able to come or not wanting to come to me? This person took a step to come to me, close to me. Right? Therefore, I'm very pleased. Now, likewise, Brahma comes right here on the spot. And as soon as Hiranyakashipu sees Brahma, he says, "You are my Lord, you are my Supreme Lord, you are my Savior, thanks for coming," etc., etc. He just praises. Now, Brahma says, okay, that's enough, that's enough. Please tell me, what is that you're going to ask? What do you want? What is it you want? And then he said, "My dear, Bhagavatam does not say this particular requirement, but then when we hear the commentaries from acharyas, they make it more dramatic. They say that, my dear Brahma, the Lord of all Lord, let me not die. Okay, let me not die." Brahma just think, excuse me, you should ask something which I can give you. If I don't have something, how can I give you? If you come and ask me for $100, I'll be able to give you $100. If you come and ask me $500,000 or $100,000, whatever it is, I cannot give you because I don't have that much myself. Where am I going to give you that money? Right? What is in my capacity? I can provide you that. So you're asking something which is beyond my capacity. I cannot provide you deathless. I cannot make you, because I myself have to die one day. Brahma says this. This is not mentioned in, but these are the explanation given. I myself as dead. I'm going to die one day. When time comes, I'm going to die. Why? How? Because Brahma is living for 100 years. We also live for 100 years. Brahma also live for 100 years. But his calculation is different than our calculation. Our 360 days, 365 days or 360 days is one day for Indra. Likewise, 360 days of Indra is one day for Brahma. And Brahma lives like that for 100 years. 100 years. And he just finished 50 years. He just completed 50 years. Another 50 more years to go. So Brahma says, it's not possible for me to do. If I have something I can give you, what else you want? Please ask me. I don't want to disappoint you by not giving what you want, because you did a wonderful tapasya. I'm very pleased. Ask me what you want. Well, if you cannot give me immortality, then Hiranyakashipu was thinking is very smart, right? He was thinking is very smart. So he want to ask same immortality in a different way. He was trying to ask in a different way, thinking that he's going to fool Brahma, right? He's thinking that he can fool the Supreme Lord. But then why is he doing all this thing? Because he was quite upset. He was very, very, very angry because his brother Hiranyaksha is being killed by Varaha. Varaha, there was Vishnu, right? Vishnu killed him. Therefore, he has a grudge. He want to take revenge. He want to kill Vishnu. Can you imagine a person who's doing tapasya to kill God? So that is his idea. He want to kill Vishnu. So at the same time, that is his idea. At the same time, to attain that one, that means he should not be killed by anyone. He should not die. That's the only way that he can kill Vishnu. Therefore, he thought he's going to be smart now, and he started asking some boons. He said, if you cannot give me what I want, then at least grant these boons to me. And Brahma said, okay, go for it. What do you want? He said, I should not be killed inside the house, outside the house. Tatastu, meaning tatastu means granted, you take it, granted. And he goes on saying that I should not be killed daytime or nighttime. Tatastu, granted. I should not be killed on the ground or on the sky. Tatastu, granted. I should not be killed by any weapons. Granted. I should not be killed by humans. Granted. I should not be killed by animals. Granted. I should not be killed by anything which has life or no life. Granted. I should not be killed by any devatas, any yakshas, any rakshasas, any gandharvas, any kinkaras. Granted. I should not be killed by any poisonous snakes, reptiles, and aquatics, or any of those things. Granted. And then Hiranyakashipu was thinking, if I keep on asking this different permutation and combination, when I'm going to finish it? Therefore, he came up with one idea. He said, finally bundled everything, and he said, to cover up everything, he said, anything that has been Now, Brahma is thinking, oh my God, I've been granting him pretty much everything. Looks like indirectly he's going to be mortal. He's not going to be killed. He's not going to die. So Brahma was confusing, scratching his head. He was thinking, what's going to happen now? And at the last, now, Hiranyakashipu was asking that, my dear Lord, anything that has been anything that has been created by you should not be cause of my death. Brahma became very joyful. He became very happy. Finally, he was relieved because all the devatas were also watching from a distance. I mean, what's happening here? Brahmas keep on giving tatastu, granted, granted, granted. If this is if keep on granting, then how is this person is going to be killed? This demon. It's going to be very difficult. So what's going to happen? At that time, he asked this question. He asked this boon that anything that has been created by you should not be cause of my death. Grant me that boon. Because you are the lordship of all living entities. You are the preceding deities. You are in a greater position. You have all the power. You can do anything that you want. Therefore, please grant me the power where I should not be killed by anything that you created. Brahma took a deep breath and released. Thank you. Thank you, Krishna. He released. There's an important message on this section. Therefore, Bhagavatam, though we see Bhagavatam in a very narrative, in a story way, in a story format, it gives so much answers if we really closely observe to the stories here. Because there is people in the world, there are schools of thought where people think God is three gods are there, three murtis. It is called Trimurti Samyam. Trimurti Samyam means there are three gods are there. A God meant for generating, God who's there to as operational, and God who's there to destroy. Three gods, right? Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. These are the three main preceding principal gods who are managing. They are the board members who's managing the entire creation. This is called, the school of thought is called Trimurti Samyam. Trimurti Samyam, they are equal gods. They are equally powered and they are doing all this thing. When we read this particular section of Bhagavatam, the conversation happened between Brahma and Hiranyakashipu, we can understand that that's not true. That's not true. If that is true, then Hiranyakashipu would have been living even now. And we know that is not the case. Right? That's not the case. Because Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, everyone, these three main gods, and 3.3 million devatas that you can name, everyone are created. Created, meaning they have been given this post and position by the Supreme Lord Krishna, Narayana, Purushottama. So he is the one who is the Param Tattva, the Supreme Lord, who created all those things and picked up the right parties and gave them this position and to run this whole thing. Also, there's another concept called, no, how can someone be born without a mother? Therefore, even the Supreme Lord, the Brahman, should be having a mother. How do you say that? How do you say that? Parasya Shaktihi Vividaya Suyate. There is a sloka in Sveteswara Upanishad. It says Parashakti Vividaya Suyate. Parashakti. The Mother Durga, the mother of all living entities. She is the cause of every living entities. There's a sloka in Sveteswara Upanishad. People think like this is called Parashakti school. They are called Parashakti school or Durga because they think without mother nothing can be born. But real fact is that people have less understanding. There are many living entities can be born without combination of male and female. It can be born. The living entities can be born even without mother. It's a true fact. It's a true fact. If you have kept your, in a rice bag, if you haven't seen a rice bag sometimes has this small insects, bugs, small ones. How did that came in, a clean bag, kept it for days. How did this small thing come? Without a combination of, the union of male and female.
Prabhuji?
Yes.
So, because they keep the bag for so many days out, so only the ants came.
Correct. That's right. So we can see that there are many living entities. It doesn't require the production or progeny, like how human gives birth to children. It's not needed. Even mothers are not needed. They just appear. They just appear. Therefore, people doesn't understand this concept and they misuse the slokas. Parashakti. It's not Parashakti. It's Parasya Shakti. Parasya Shakti. Vividayesh. Parasya Shakti. Vividayasuyati. The Supreme Lord with all the Shaktis. That's what it meaning. But people change that into a different meaning and they say Trimurti Samyam, Parashakti, and many different ideas. Therefore, here, even this, we are going to learn this one in Gajendra Moksha. In Gajendra Moksha also, Gajendra will also pray a similar thing. And when he prayed, Adi Mula, the supreme cause of all causes, it is Sri Hari. Krishna will descend and come. No other God will come. When we go to the Gajendra Moksha, we see that one. Nityo Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam, Yeko Bahunam, Yo Vidadhati Kaman. Therefore, the Supreme Lord is Nitya. Jivatma is Nitya. The Supreme Lord is conscious being. And Jivatma is conscious being. Yeko Bahunam. There's only one Supreme Lord for all the living entities. Who is it? Narayana Param Brahma Tattvam Narayana Paraha. Narayana, the Supreme Lord. How do you say that? Because Narayana Brahma Jayate. It is said in the Upanishad. From Narayana, Brahma came. Narayana Prajapati, Prajayate, Prajapatis. All the Prajapatis came. Indro Jayate, Isho Jayate, Lord Shiva. Everyone appeared from Lord Supreme Lord Narayana. Therefore, we can understand from this particular section that Brahma himself has been given that position. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Buddha bhava samanvitaha. Though Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, sloka after sloka after sloka, that he is the cause of all causes. Everyone comes from him. Pitaham asya jagato. Krishna says he is the Lord, our Father, Mother, Guardian. Ishwaraha sarva bhutanam. So he says these things. But finally, Hiranyakashipu got whatever he wanted to get. Now he got the boon that he wanted. Just imagine ourselves, if we get such boon, right? We get such boon. No one can kill me. No one can do anything to me, right? What will be our position? We will be becoming egoistic, right? The same thing, Hiranyakashipu decided that he's not going to die in anyone's hand. He's not going to die in anyone's hand. Therefore, its activities and his behaviors all went to the extreme, He went to the extreme case. Now, he started torturing people. Wherever there's temple programs are going on, he closed the temples. Wherever the Brahmanas are reciting the Vedas, he punished and killed the Brahmanas, the Rishis. The Munis were tortured, and he started killing the cows because he knows very well how to agitate Vishnu. Vishnu likes the Brahmanas, he likes cows, he likes the Vedas. So he was directly affecting these things. He was just directly affecting the Vedas, punishing the saintly people, and then also killing the cows. That's what he was just doing everywhere. And people who were living, the Gandharvas, Siddhas, Charanas, Yakshas, Yamaraja, even Yama was very much afraid of this person, Hiranyakashipu. He couldn't do anything. Yama himself was afraid of Hiranyakashipu. Yakshas, they were all under the order of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu, Arey, come here. Indra will coming running like this, yes sir, like that. Yama will coming running like a menial servant in front of Hiranyakashipu. Their positions were like that. They were all afraid of Hiranyakashipu. And he went to the heaven. He occupied the heaven. He sent off all the devatas except the ladies of the heavenly planet. He retained them. Special concession he gave them for his own pleasure. He was having them and as a servant, and everyone were becoming their servant. All the Varuna, Vayu, and all you can name Agni, everyone became a servant for him, washing his in a eaten plate, massaging him, taking care of whatever his menial requirements are. So that's how their position were in their life were in heaven. Hiranyakashipu was becoming more arrogant and arrogant and arrogant. The devatas don't know what to do now. They were thinking, we have to take action and do something. Finally, they went. They decided the only person who can give shelter to all of us is the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. He is the only one who can protect us. No one can protect us because they are in fear, big fear. What is going to happen to us? They are in big fear. They all gathered together and they were just praying. They were just praying to the Lord.
Prabhuji,
The Lord, yes.
So, like Lord Vishnu likes cows and he likes his devotees. Then why he let the cows and devotees die?
Yeah, that is all because Hiranyakashipu was doing. That becomes a point of triggering the Lord. When the Lord saw that, these cows are getting killed and the Brahmanas are getting killed, Rishis are getting killed, that's when he gets angry, right? To make him angry, Hiranyakashipu was doing this thing. But then Krishna knows, even though the Hiranyakashipu killed cows and every Brahmanas, he will still save them because body has been destroyed, Atma is still there. So he will surely take care of them. Okay?
Yeah, and oh yeah, okay.
Okay. Now, all the devatas gathered together and they started praying to the Supreme Lord. At the point of time, there's a grave voice. All they could hear was a voice. They didn't see the person. He was not visible to his eyes. The Lord was not visible to their eyes. The voice came saying that Abhayam, Abhayam. Abhayam means be free of fear. Don't be fearful. I am here. Right? When the Lord says Abhayam, then we should know that it is not like how we give Abhaya Pradana, how we give Abhayam to our family members. None of us can give Abhayam free of fear to any one of our family members or anyone for that matter. The insurance company cannot give us Abhayam, our family members either. Right? Therefore, when the Lord says Abhayam, he really means it. And it's for sure he will protect us. He said, don't be worried. The Lord said, don't be worried. The time will come where I will finish Hiranyakashipu. I will take care of them. Take care of him. Do not be afraid. And the Lord and the Devata said, is torturing too much. We cannot take any further. Can you please take an immediate action? Can you do something? The Lord said, Shanti. First he said Abhayam. Second he said Shanti. Be patient. Don't rush yourself. When Prahlad, the great Bhakta Prahlad will appear. When Prahlad has been chastised, tortured, and that time I will come and kill Hiranyakashipu and give shelter to you all. Don't worry. Right? Now, you just imagine ourselves that, someone is just chasing us, right? We are trying to run to save our life. And we come to the police station. We come to the police station. And the police officer comes out and asks, what's the matter? Why are you panicked? What's going on with you? and I say that this person is chasing me, he's torturing, he's just shooting everyone, he's doing all those sort of things in that area. And then police says, Abhayam, Shanti, don't worry, be in a Shanti mood, in peace. Whenever that person get to that street and does something, we'll take an action. Now you be in peace, you go. If a police is going to give such a response, what are we going to do? Right? Likewise, when devatas were gathered together and they're crying out and praying to Vishnu, the Lord, saying that please save us. And the Lord is saying, of course I will save you. I will save you when Prahlad is being disturbed. When Prahlad goes through difficult time. When Prahlad is chastised. When Prahlad is being tortured. That time I will appear and kill Hiranyakashipu. The first question comes is, what about me then? Am I not special to you? Are you not going to take care of me? Are you not going to take care of the current situation? Why? How is it Prahlad is greater than us? Is he great? It is greater than us. Mahatmane Prahladhaya yada dhruyate. Dhruhit, he said, it has been introduced here in the sloka that Mahatmane means Mahatma. Mahatma. Prahlad is Mahatma, therefore I will appear when that Mahatma goes through difficulty. And the Devata is asking, how did he become Mahatma? Why not us? Why we are not great devotees? Well, you are 33 crores, 3.3 million Devatas are there, right? He said, yes, we are 3.3 million Devatas. Well, when Hiranyakashipu, you were in front of Hiranyakashipu, were you able to say Narayana one time? Are, what are you talking? If I say Narayana, our head will be chopped off. Well, you are 3.3 million, not even one person in front of Hiranyakashipu, or not all together in front of Hiranyakashipu dare to say my name. But you will wait and see about Prahlad. 3.3 million times he chants my name. 3.3 million times he chants my name. In spite of Hiranyakashipu warns him, tortures him, gives him hard time, he never stops doing it. Therefore he is Mahatma. You all have to wait until that Mahatma comes. And the Devatas understood their position because they were not ready to go against Hiranyakashipu. Not one Devata came in front and said, Narayana, the Supreme Lord, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So great about Prahlad. What is so great about Prahlad? And then Narada Muni goes explaining the qualities of Prahlad. Very, very interesting, very amazing qualities that Narada Muni says Yudhishthira Maharaj. Brahmanyaha Shila Sampanna. Brahmale Shila Sampanna. Satya Sandho Jitendriyaha. Satya Sandho Jitendriyaha. Atmavat Sarvabhutanam. Yeka Priya Suruttamaha. He says that this Prahlad is such a cultured person, very qualified person, very cultured, very qualified, wonderful behaviors and characters he will have. He is very determined in the absolute truth. He knows the truth. He is in Jitendriya. Jitendriya means one who has controlled the external senses as well as the internal senses. He is not a slave of the senses, rather he is the master of the senses. One who has conquered the sense is called Jitendriya. Right? So he is like the Supreme Lord, the Super Soul, Sarvabhutanam, Sarvabhuta. Sarva Bhuta means he thinks welfare of every living entities. We also think welfare for living entities, provided it's my own family, or is my family members, or is my extended family, or if you fall into my own community, then I will help you. I take care of you. Yeah? But Prahlad was not like that. Are you my community or different community? No. Sarva Bhuta Hitam. He always thinks about good for all living entities. Satya means is very truthful, never lies. Even for jokingly, he does not lie. Right? He will never lie. He is sadhu. He is sadhu. Sadhu Bhushanaha. He has all the wonderful qualities of sadhu as an ornament. Not only that, he respects. He respects all the person. And then he himself thinks as a servant of others. He gives respect to his father, his mother, his brothers, every living entities. He never has any pride within him. He doesn't have any pride of being born in a such a family, pride of education, pride of beauty, pride of any of these things. Is free of any pride. Is a very simple person. Even though born in an Asura family, he was a very simple person. That's the beauty of it. Never envious of any devotees for that matter. Such a person is going to be appearing. That's the good qualities of Prahlad, wonderful qualities. And these qualities, we cannot, Narada Muni says that we cannot stop talking. We can keep on talking about Prahlad. Every great souls talk if they want to take an example of great devotee, they first take the name of Bhakta Prahlad. They take his name as the ideal example because he has his wonderful qualities. Even when he was a child, right? Do we have any children here? I know Rukmini is here. Anyone else? Any other kids are watching, hearing here? Do we have any children in this call?
Yes, Prabhuji. Akshara is here.
Akshara, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
What is your favorite game?
Yes. My favorite game is Candyland.
Candyland. Oh, I love that too. Very interesting game. Candyland. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else?
My favorite game is hide and seek.
Who's that speaking?
Anirudh.
Anirudh, your favorite is hide and seek?
Yes.
Very good. So you love playing that with your mom and dad?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you. Anyone else? Any other kids are in this call?
My favorite thing is to tag.
Tag.
Prabhuji, it's Shashwat and Satvik.
Yes, thank you, Rukmini. And Sashwat and Satvik, what games do you like?
So, Prabhuji?
What game do you like?
I like sitting games.
Sitting and playing games? Any games that sitting and playing?
Yeah, like chess, Ludo. Like there's like one game Atlas. While you're playing the game, you can experience new continents, countries, and places. They will tell. In the ending, you have to tell what in the ending of the letter of the continent, place. You have to tell any place of that with the starting letter.
Wonderful. Anyone else? Any other kids want to say something? Nyashta Kridana ko bhalo Krishna graha grihitatma. So here, Narada Muni says, Prahlad is quite different child. He's a different kid.
I am Nitra from India.
Oh, okay. Please go ahead.
Yes.
You want to say something? Okay, we're not able to hear you. Maybe some internet.
From India, my favorite game is football.
Football. I got them. I got the game at least. Okay, thank you so much. Now you all can mute your phone. Thank you. So you like football. Someone likes sitting and playing game. Someone likes tag.
My name is Netra.
Okay, go ahead. Chetra, go ahead. Chetra, what game do you like? Okay, that's fine. We can't hear you. The point here is it's wonderful. You all like so many different games. So many varieties of games are there, right? Now let's hear Prahlad. He was 5 years old when these things, this whole the Hiranyakashipu Padala, this section happened. He was 5 years old. Okay, I'm sure someone in this group may be 5 years old, and you also shared the games that you like to play. Now let's see from Prahlad's point of view what Prahlad used to do, what became his game, what does he like to play. Would you all like to hear what Prahlad likes to play? I guess yes. I'll take it as an yes. So you can keep it muted. Now, from the very beginning. Okay, thank you. From the very beginning, Prahlad had a different style altogether. All the kids will come and play and tell Prahlad, come on, let's go and play. Let's play football. Let's play hide and seek. Let's play tag. Let's play chess. They will call Prahlad to come and play. And Prahlad was gently refused to play. He'll refuse to play. He does not get into any of these games. Not that he has some mental problem or he has some deficiency or getting along with people. And when we speak such things, now the industry, the pharmaceutical industry or the medical industry will come up with some new disease, and they'll say that this is something called this particular disease that Prahlad had. That's why he was not mingling with people. He is not social. He has to be gone through some training. A special care needs to be given. Luckily, these things were not the way in those days. People know what's going on. So, but Prahlad was aloof from normal. I mean, no, I wouldn't say normal, with these sort of children activities. He does not play with any of these toys. He was not going behind the children. He was not crying because he was not getting any games to play. None of those things, right? Children usually cry if they don't win the game. First of all, he doesn't even go and play. Where the question of winning the game or losing the game, that's not even possible. So Prahlad was constantly thinking about Krishna. Constantly Krishna, he was thinking about Krishna. Internally, he was thinking about Krishna, how Krishna would be, how the Lord will be playing, how he will be, how he will look to, appear to be. He was just constantly meditating on Krishna all the time, Krishna consciousness. That's what he was thinking, completely absorbed in Krishna. And sometimes he doesn't even remember to eat, doesn't even remember to sleep, go to sleep, doesn't even remember to drink water. He was always absorbed in thinking about the Supreme Lord. That's a bhakti he had. Sometimes what happens is he'll start crying. Why do you cry? Sometimes children, we have here, a lot of children I think joined today. So why do you cry? Because your brother did not give you something. Or your mother did not satisfy, your father did not give you anything, something that what you wanted. Or you get hurt, right? Or simply you start crying. There are children will simply start crying because of no reason to get an attention. And this joke is there where, the girl was sitting and doing something. And then the mother comes and asks, what happened to you? And then the girl said, well, I got my finger cut here. Oh, you got the finger cut? Then why did you didn't cry? Usually you cry for everything. Why you didn't cry? And the girl said, was 5 years old. The girl said, I thought you are not at home. Right? Therefore, the children, we know children sometimes try to get attention of parents and elders by making this sort of cranky behaviors or crying, things like that. But remember, children, Prahlad was not crying at all. He was not crying. Why he was not able to cry? Why he was not crying? Because he's always thinking about Krishna. Always thinking about Krishna. But he also cries. Prahlad was also crying, but not crying for the reasons of why we all cry, because our needs were not being given to us, right? That's when we start crying, or something happens to us, we cry. But then Prahlad cried thinking about Krishna because of separation of Krishna. And then sometimes he laughs, thinking about the Lord, how wonderful he is. He starts thinking and he starts laughing to himself. He starts, when it comes to bhakti, when you go to the higher stage of bhakti, then we will not be seen as a normal person in the world. Why? Because in that stage of bhakti, this person will be crying. Suddenly he will cry, suddenly he will laugh, suddenly he will roll on the ground, suddenly he will start speaking something or the other which is not even related to the discussion that's going on, right? This person becomes literally a mad person in bhakti. There are great souls and devotees in our history where they are in such a state. One of the examples that we are seeing here is Bhakta Prahlad. Bhakta Prahlad was such a person who just cries for the Lord. And we also cry not for the Lord, for something else. He laughs when he thinks about Lord's activities. We also laugh for many other things, not for God. Right? Therefore, it's the wonderful qualities that he has, Bhakta Prahlad has. Sometimes he feels the Lord is touching him. He's standing in front of him. Krishna is standing right in front of him. Such a greatness of Bhakta Prahlad. Such a great Bhakta Prahlad was being tortured by Hiranyakashipu. When Narada Muni was explaining these things, Yudhishthira Maharaj asked, what? Hiranyakashipu is his father. What's wrong? How can a father torture son? That doesn't make any sense to me. And what wrong did Prahlad do? Why Hiranyakashipu have to do such things? Could you please explain these details to me? When the boy is having such a wonderful quality, will the father come and hit? Now that we have some children here, I'm forgetting the names that who all spoke here. Some of you, whoever can tell, if you behave well, does your father or mother come and strike you, hit you? Can one of the kids speak? Unmute.
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. Does anyone have an experience where you listen to your dad and you pray to God and you say some slokas and your mom comes or your dad comes with a stick? Hey, tap, 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 tap. Does any of your father does that?
Never.
Never does that. But therefore, Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking a question, what? How? Why did Hiranyakashipu do this one? What all Prahlad went through in his life? Why he has to do these things? I never heard a father and mother doing such things. They are always affectionate to their children. They will never chastise. They will chastise. Sometimes father and mother, sometimes chastise, sometimes they scold the children, sometimes they slap them or etc. But not with envious nature, but to teach them something. That's the only reason they do this one. So why did Hiranyakashipu behave violently to the saintly boy? And Narada Muni is going to tell that story. How? What did Prahlad do that Hiranyakashipu was not happy? And that's going to be the section that we are going to see next week. A beautiful section where Bhakta Prahlad will be born and Prahlad will be going to school and what he does in his school. All those things are going to be the discussion that we are going to see in our next session. With that said,
Prabhuji, what if fellow is not born yet?
no, he's not born yet. I'm sorry. Last week I told he's going to be born this Saturday, but we are postponing his birth to next week, okay? If you don't mind.
Okay.
We'll try to request him to take birth next Saturday.
Okay.
Because Indra is going to come as usual. Indra is going to do his business. We're going to see that one also. While Hiranyakashipu was doing, something has happened. That is all coming up. We only saw Hiranyakashipu's austerity and the boon that he got from Brahma. But during this period, something else happened in his family, in his house. Those things we will see in our next session. Any other questions? Does the kids want to say anything? Whoever joined? Anirudh, what did you learn today? Satvik, Shashwat, and I'm remembering others who joined from India and other places.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna. What did you like in today's discussion?
I like that Hiranyakashipu got boons from Brahma.
You like that boons that he got from Brahma? Very smart, right? He acted very smart to get all the boons covered. All the angles, he covered everything. Thank you. Any other kids want to say what they learned, what they liked in today's session?
I like the part when Brahma gave the boons to Hiranyakashipu.
Okay, you like that one also. Everyone likes the boon part very much, looks like. Okay, anyone else? If you are comfortable, you can also turn on your video so we can see your picture yourself as you speak. If you're comfortable, otherwise that's fine. Any other kids want to share what you learned today? Okay, looks like there's no one else. Okay, thank you. Anyone else have any questions? Or any sharing? Yes, someone has a question? Oh, there you go. I could see someone just popped up on the screen. Go ahead, please share your screen. Nice to see.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello, what's your name?
my name is Netra. I'm from India.
Netra, please tell me, what did you learn from today's session?
We should not cry always.
Sometimes you can cry. That means, right?
When mother hit also, we can cry. We will not cry.
Okay. And mother is not going to hit just like that for fun, right? Mother will have a reason to teach us something, correct? Okay. Thank you so much, Netra.
One chanting. I'll chant the Bhagavad Gita.
Chant Bhagavad Gita. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः ॐ अर्जुन विषादयोगः धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेताय युक्समः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव इव कुर्वत सञ्जय. That's all.
Oh, wonderful. Really beautiful. Very nice. My goodness. Your pronunciation, your tone, everything
Thank
was
you.
so. Thank you. Thanks for sharing and singing. I'm sure everyone liked it.
I'm Sangeeta student.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining. Hope you're enjoying this session.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So for those who have joined newly to our sessions here, we do Bhagavatam from 10:30 to 12 Central Time, US time. And we have a WhatsApp group that you can join that group, and the details and announcements will be posted over there. And also we do a daily one sloka of Bhagavad Gita, a recorded Bhagavad Gita from, and then we post it in that group. So it's easy for us to hear, remember, and stay connected every single day. So those who would like to join that group, please let us know, and we'll send you the link, and you can join that group to get the announcement and Bhagavad Gita every day. And once again, thank you all for continuing your chanting logs, recording that. Thank you so much for continuing that one. If there is no other.
Prabhu, there is a question in the chat.
Oh, there's a question? Okay. Okay, Pradeep ji is asking a question. Does long tapasya by demons change their consciousness? No. It all depends on the desire. The desire, say for example, when Krishna was present on earth, vidyate hridaya grantihi chityante sarva samshayaha. It said that anyone who takes a darshan of the Lord, all the sins will go away. Okay? Just taking the glance, if we see darshan of the Lord, if Krishna appears in front of us, all the papa will go away. Right? Now, the question is, when Krishna was on the earth planet, Duryodhana, Shishupal, Dandavakra, Jarasandha, so many demons were there. They all were having darshan of Krishna. But did their papa go away? Answer is no. Why? First of all, I need to accept that I have sin. If I don't even accept that I'm a papi, I have a sin, then where the question of even the Lord staying in front and your papam is going to go away? So it depends on the consciousness that we have is how things going to work. Likewise, when we are doing tapasya, not in the consciousness of wanting to attain God, but to attain something from God, and that is what we are going to get. There is a sattvic tapasya, there is a rajasic tapasya, there is a tamasic tapasya. When we go to the 17th chapter, yeah, of course, we are going to the 17th chapter. In the 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says even the austerity of three categories, Sattvaguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Therefore, Hiranyakashipu's tapas was in Rajoguna. He wanted to get something. That was his consciousness. And that is what he got it. It is not anywhere close to Sattvaguna. Like Ravana. Therefore, our consciousness, what we learn from this is, we have to do tapasya, austerity, in Sattvaguna, not in Rajoguna, to attain something. Does that help, Pradeep ji? Okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions? If there's no other questions, you all have a wonderful week and weekend remembering Krishna, and we'll meet again next Saturday. Hare Krishna. Thank you.